Hello, hello again, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Gare Maritime in Brussels and out there online joining us from wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the official opening of the new European Bauhaus Festival. In the next 4 days, expertise will be shared, innovative ideas will be presented, and artists will show their work. All over Brussels, but also in many other places in Europe and beyond. The new European Bauhaus Festival, I've said this before, is like an agora, where people, citizens, politicians, artists, and scientists alike meet, discuss, and inspire each other. All that with the aim to create a sustainable, beautiful world together in the spirit of the original Bauhaus of over 1 century ago. However, this festival takes place while a war is raging on European soil. It is not something that will be ignored in the next few days. On the contrary, I would say, it begs to define all the clearer the new European Bauhaus's relevance and what it should be about. Now, as I said, the festival does take place all over Europe in other European countries, not only in Brussels. So in the next hour, we will be linking up to people in other EU member states to find out what they are showcasing and what they have organized in the context of the new European Bauhaus and what they want to contribute from their perspective and from their realities. However, first we link up to Rome. That's where Ursula von der Leyen, European Commission President, is, and the world-renowned architect Francis Kéré. They will join us from Rome, led by in the capable hands of my colleague Monica. Monica, greetings from Brussels. Ciao tutti, là in Roma.
Ciao Annelies, good morning. Ciao Annelies. Such a pleasure seeing you there in Brussels. It's a great European morning this morning where we are able to connect, to share ideas, to share thoughts and discussions. As you mentioned, President von der Leyen is here, Francis Kéré is here. I think in a few moments we will be able to listen to their visions and perspectives, so important, especially in this moment, which is a very difficult moment, as you mentioned. But first of all, line to you, Annelies, starting from Brussels. Again, line is yours.
Grazie mille, Monica, and we will be seeing more of you and your guests in a moment. But indeed, first of all, as I said, we will be going around some European cities where people have put a lot of effort into creating their vision on the new European Bauhaus project. So, let's start. First, to Denmark, to Jens Hansens. Greetings from Brussels, Jens.
Hej Europa. Velkommen til Helsingør på denne pragtfulde junidag. It's a beautiful day here in Helsingør, Denmark, the city of Hamlet's castle, Kronborg. In these days, we have, together with our Swedish partners, filled the streets with performers from all over Europe to discuss sustainability of the arts. As a theatre and a festival, it's urgent and necessary for us to pose the important question what we can do to keep our European international relations with artists in a sustainable way. The future calls for green festivals, green theatre, a green Europe, and we want to be part of that. At the moment, we are doing a Creative Europe, Perform Europe project here called Instant Dissident Slow-Mo, and I might give you a little peek of what is going on, although they are running away from me. But that's it from Denmark. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jens. Thank you so much. And on to Verena. Verena is in Austria. Verena Ringler, hello from Brussels.
Grüß Gott from Innsbruck. I'm Verena Ringler of Agora European Green Deal. And at more than 2,000 meters above sea level, high in the clouds, we stage a celebration of soil, seeds, and our human senses. Mountain peaks like that one help us to see things in perspective and to understand that every cubic meter of healthy, living soil is the treasure for humanity. Soil is the new gold. 1 tablespoon of it has more organisms than there are people on Earth. It absorbs CO2. It gives us food and filtered water and, of course, beauty. We all love flowers. So here, Melanie, who advocates a European youth lab on soil, and Thomas, who oversees one of the world's 2 oldest genetic seed banks. Tyrol's seed bank is 100 years old. Meet Stephanie, who envisions hundreds of citizen biotopes in rural Europe, and architect Anna Heringer, who says soils from Sweden to Spain give us mud, the housing material of tomorrow. We of Agora, European Green Deal, want every person to discover the real gold under our feet.
Thank you so much, Verena, for broadening our horizons, literally, today, and for joining us. Thank you so much, all of you there in Austria. And on to Estonia. There, Anna Tomingas will tell us more about what they have in store. Anna, greetings from Brussels.
Tere! I am Anna. I'm the manager of Timber Architecture Research Center BECK at the Estonian Academy of Arts, located in Tallinn, Estonia. BECK, as a research center, deals with 3 major topics: the green revolution in construction, the digital revolution in the industry, and new methods of designing prefabricated and modular wooden buildings. Today, we are connecting from Krulli Quarter, which is an old production plant here in Tallinn, dating back to the 19th century. It will go under development in a few years, and over 12,000 apartments will be built here. And so, over the past semester, our architecture students have been working on solutions for apartment buildings in this quarter. And today, a pop-up exhibition, especially organized for the new European Bauhaus Festival, called Rekrulli, Constructing Spatial Culture, will be opened. We have, as you can see, 8 different studies here with project descriptions and modules. The studio's objective was to develop flexible architecture from sustainable materials based on digital design and fabrication. But we were looking at possible ways of living together beyond the usual apartment association ownership model. So we welcome you here in Tallinn, and please come and visit us at the Estonian Academy of Arts. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Anna, for talking to us from Tallinn, from a location, a venue that looks a bit like the Gare Maritime, if you ask me. And on to Helen Fronius in Germany. Hi, Helen. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have in store for us. Greetings from Brussels to you too.
Hallo aus Deutschland. This is first Jutta speaking to you from Weimar in Germany. The original Bauhaus was founded here in our main building of Bauhaus Universität Weimar by Walter Gropius in 1919. At that time, Bauhaus students were seeking a socially inclusive and aesthetic way of life, not so much different from today. In 2022, we add a more sustainable way of life. For this aim, our 4 faculties, architecture and urbanism, civil engineering, art and design, and media, work together on an interdisciplinary basis. You see, we are an institution which embraces its role as a partner in the new European Bauhaus. Now, Helen is pleased to tell you about our first festival event.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow, we will have a full day of hands-on workshops and lively discussions here at the university itself and also in the town of Weimar, where we will be engaging with its citizens about how to make where we live more sustainable. How can we work towards a future where neighbourhoods serve their diverse communities whilst also contributing towards protecting our environment? We'll be asking how to safeguard heritage buildings, of which Weimar has very many, whilst also improving their climate credentials. Architects, planners, campaigners and scientists will be in dialogue with a young generation of international students. Our event brings together other partner institutions from the region to create a hub for the new European Bauhaus here in Weimar. We wish good luck to all the other event organisers across Europe, each working towards change in their region.
Thank you very much to Helen and Jutta. And last but not least, for this first round of Europe Vision, we move to Cyprus, to Kyriaki Costa. Hello and greetings from Brussels to you too.
Hi, kalispera se όλους. My name is Kyriaki Costa and I'm joining you from the streets of my city, Nicosia in Cyprus. Thank you for inviting us to join you today. I am an artist and the director of Faneromeni 70, which is a non-profit organization dedicated to social research that was launched in 2005. We celebrate Cypriot art, study the urban and natural landscape in our country, and incorporate local tradition in our work while engaging our audiences to observe contemporary culture. Our main goal is to showcase the different layers of Nicosia and Cyprus through the eyes of the other, the local, the tourist, the passerby. We are happy to present the second part of our project Topophilia under the framework of the new European Bauhaus Festival. It is a series of events focusing on the coexistence of nature and culture in the city of Nicosia. Over the coming weeks, we will host workshops, exhibitions, discussions, and screenings, inviting visitors to exchange perspectives in our city whilst imagining a sustainable and ecological future together. This program is co-curated with Antigoni Mikhail and Nikolaos Akrididis and realized in collaboration with the Municipality Arts Center, the Ministry of Education, and the Tourist Board. We are looking forward to take this journey with you and discover a new layer of Nicosia.
Thank you so much for joining us from Cyprus. So that was it for our first Europe Vision round in Europe. There's more to follow, but at least now we've got an idea of the ideas and ideals that are inspired by the new European Bauhaus project in all these European cities and in all these European citizens. But now, back to Rome, back to Monica for the discussion. Monica, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thanks, Annelies. Thank you. Thank you for this amazing tour through ideas and values in Europe. So, we're so proud here in Rome to open the session of this festival of the new European Bauhaus. Let me just give the floor for an introduction, for a note, to President of MAXXI, Giovanna Melandri. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, first of all, good luck and greetings from Rome. Good luck to all the venues that are connected with us. Hello, Minister FRANCESCHINI. Thank you for being with us. And so honored to welcome to MAXXI Ursula von der Leyen, President of the EU Commission. We admire so much your strong leadership, Madam President. Europe is our home and Europe is leading the way. Land of change, of experimentation, with a Green New Deal, with the energy transition, with a just transition, with a human, non-extractive project for artificial intelligence, with the recent guidelines for fair minimum wages. Our firm stand, I don't want to forget this, our firm stand with Ukraine for its freedom against a brutal criminal aggression, and your commitment to the reconstruction of Ukraine in a sustainable way. And the new European Bauhaus is the soul of this vision. Let's not miss it. We were discussing it this morning. The house is burning. The crisis we are witnessing calls for audacity and depth of vision comparable to that fruitful and, alas, too short season of last century. We really must rethink more or less everything from a post-anthropocentric point of view. The new European Bauhaus Festival lands here at MAXXI, a museum designed by a woman and with a majority of women on board, in a very special time for us, and finds us in a process of deep change. We call it Grande MAXXI, Greater MAXXI, a project inspired by the Bauhaus paradigm, sustainability, inclusion, innovation, beauty, which we want to turn into action here. And we will, with a very important investment, thanks to our government, which will turn this museum into something more, together with the ecosystem of the Italian Bauhaus, which is rich and is very much active. The push toward this evolution comes both from the inner interdisciplinary scope of creativity and from global changes and challenges, from climate change to geopolitics, from the need to restore inclusion and biodiversity to the spiritual longing and cultural diplomacy's needs. Factors that all claim an original contribution from artistic communities and cultural institutions. And this was your real vision, Madam President, for which we really thank you so much. We know this. Artists discover the world before. They are future tellers, in a way. And creative communities can help us prototyping future worlds. That's why we are here for. That's what we are here for. Beauty can be a strong power for social change, and Grande MAXXI is an ambitious, collective exercise. Architects, artists, designers, together with agents from science, we just discussed this morning, with environment, social studies, universities, and research institutions, to design regeneration patterns together. At MAXXI, and this is really my final remark, we wish to be the change we want to see in the world, reaching carbon neutrality for Zaha Hadid's architecture, which is not totally carbon neutral today, and reaching out to those who can transform built environment and spatial productions of our time, and even more a reason to warmly welcome Dario Francis Kéré, 2022 Pritzker Prize winner here today. Your design with clay and wood is an exercise we're all looking at with so much admiration. Our gaze in the last years, thanks to MAXXI's team, has been searching for years in the Euromed region. In North Africa, Lebanon, Turkey, the Balkans, we hosted many shows of the creative communities of these countries. And we have tried to connect the Italian and European art scene to explore new path of coexistence. So happy to be able to listen to you. And again, very, very warm welcome, Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Giovanna Melandri. And now the notice from Dario Franceschini, Minister of Culture.
First of all, let me thank President von der Leyen for being with us today. It's an honor. Italy is very proud to contribute to the wave of creativity in the new European Bauhaus. Italian artists, designers, architects, and creatives are shaping a more sustainable and inclusive future where beauty meets respect for the planet and human diversity. 67 official Italian partners have organized over 50 side events contributing to the success of the festival today. Madam President, I want to thank you and to commend the work that your Commission has done for culture. I also believe that we can and we must do even more together to put culture at the center of a new vision for Europe and for EU relationship with the rest of the world. A vision where change happens by design, because culture offers understanding, it offers dialogue, it brings solutions, combining social and environmental commitment. In short, it offers wisdom, and we all know how much we need it at this time. This is why we are inviting the Ministers of Culture of the Mediterranean to meet in Naples on 16th and 17th of June and to launch with the EU institution, with the Member States and with the countries from all over the Mediterranean, a new process for cultural cooperation in the region. Culture must play a key role in implementing a new agenda for the Mediterranean of the European Union. We want to make culture count even more in defining that the EU as a force for good, for more creativity and inclusive green societies in the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean is a sea of culture all around us. We want to make full use of the power of culture to ensure that the voice of the EU is heard clearly on its shores and across the world, so that it brings us closer as human beings and more united in peace. Grazie.
Thank you. Thank you, Minister. Let me just tell you that it's a great privilege discussing with you, Mrs. President, and discussing with you, Francis Kéré, this issue, which is an issue that has a lot to do with our future. Basically, we're discussing the way we will live, the kind of society we're going to build. So, President von der Leyen, in these 3 days, there will be more than 200 events around Europe. We just had a taste of this morning. So, what do you expect from that?
Yes, so I expect a huge celebration of the spirit of the new European Bauhaus. And indeed, it's amazing to see 200 events all around Europe, more than 100 showcases in Brussels itself. But you here in Rome and you here in Italy, you are so enthusiastic, you're so engaged, you're so much the front runners. So first of all, I really want to thank you for what you are doing, and I hope the camera can once go into the public to show how packed the room is to celebrate the new European Bauhaus. And what I expect is, let me a little bit explain how I see the role of the new European Bauhaus. We all know that we are at a limit. For too many decades, we have polluted, we have wasted, we have extracted, we have taken more from the planet than we have given back. And we know there needs to be a turnaround. We know there needs to be a change. And basically, this is the European Green Deal. But the European Green Deal has to be a lot about the climate law, legislative texts, evidence from science, figures, impact assessments. This is important. It is the frame we need to change. But we thought when we started the European Green Deal, something is missing. Something is missing, which is a grassroots movement by the people. And therefore we say it is the heart and the soul of the European Green Deal is the new European Bauhaus. Because the new European Bauhaus says we know out there are so many initiatives, so much knowledge, so much expertise. You in your arts or engineering or other craftsmen and women, whatever section you're in, you know so much and you want to contribute. Let's channel this in the new European Bauhaus. And this is the idea behind the new European Bauhaus, the spirit of the new European Bauhaus. And finally, what I expect also is not only celebrate ourselves, but look forward and say, where can we contribute better? And this is the topic of Ukraine. Indeed, we will have this afternoon a debate with the mayor of Mariupol and Ukrainian architects. And my friends, we will reconstruct Ukraine. We have to do that, and we will do that. And I think it is not only in our interest, it's our moral obligation to do that. But when we are reconstructing Ukraine, of course owned by Ukraine, let's do it in the right way. Let's do it in the spirit of the new European Bauhaus. And this is my message basically to the festival. Let's start to fulfill this vision and move forward. Thank you.
Incredible vision. Thank you so much. I'll be back to you in a second about Ukraine and what we can do out there, even in terms of energy. But let me tell you that I'm a big fan of Francis Kéré. So it's quite easy to me having the chance to talk to him, not just because he's a great architect, this year the greatest, but because he has a life in a country where the discussion with the culture, nature, and society can be the basis of the future or can simply be non-existent. You decided to put it at the center of the scene. Do you think that this kind of discussions could be useful for the future of buildings and the way we build our structures and future? Oh, Mike.
Okay. Wow. Great. I mean, I cannot start to answer without highlighting the fact that someone being at the top of power take time and invest energy to launch this idea. So thank you for having this initiative. Politics need to create a frame and be a front rider, and you show it through this Mammoth project, so which involve all Europe. So the thing that is interesting to me, and what most here potentially don't know about it, is talking about our neighbor, your neighbor, Africa. This and our neighbor that is really looking to you. If you do things here great, they will copy it. If you do it wrong, they will copy it. And that is why I think it's so important that a leader just put this in the calendar and to try to really make this become a big, big event. Of course, events like this helps a lot. She is not dealing simply with the political deals. I love the fact that you said we're going to create law and whatever frame to allow that kind of ideas happen. And those events are places where you could share and we could talk. We see that it's coming from really the very top, because she has the power to do it, and she could haven't done it. You have many, many people that passed before her, and we haven't seen that initiative to tackle these big challenges that we are facing, climate change. And so, again, thank you to you. I think that it shows that we are together. If you just start to do like in a little corner by your own, it is good. But this meeting today, this launching of this Bauhaus, new Bauhaus, will create a strong impact. And however you do, in that kind of meetings, if you show examples, if you let people know that using renewable materials and energy, neutral material should be our future, should help shape our future, then you're really convincing. People see it is in the political calendar. It's not like paying lip services, but it is a big concern. So that's why I think that kind of gathering are important.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. So, not just a slogan or a headline, but a change. President von der Leyen, you just mentioned Ukraine, and you gave us this incredible vision. But nevertheless, new European Bauhaus is the, let's say, cultural dimension added to the Green Deal. Do you think that what we're going through, this war in Ukraine, will have an impact, or is a good reason for a stop in this process? Or we have to move forward anyway?
Yeah, Francis Kéré just said it. If we get it wrong, you'll copy. If we get it right, you'll copy. So we have to get it right. Also with this atrocious war. And there is a paradox happening right now. because you know that the Russian economy is basically based on fossil fuels. It's oil, it's coal, it's gas, and we are heavily depending in the European Union on these fossil fuels. Because of this horrible war that Putin has unleashed against Ukraine, we have decided to get rid of our dependency on Russian fossil fuels. That's good. Get rid of our dependency on any fossil fuels. That's good. Now we have to get it right. And it is not easy, because in the short term, we have to diversify away from Russia to other reliable suppliers. But we have to be very careful that we are not locked in with the new suppliers that replace, for example, gas, but that we immediately move on to renewable energy. So to invest massively into sun, into wind, into hydropower, into hydrogen, you name it. And this is now the task for all of us in the European Union, to really move forward and show the way with the renewables. What is reassuring for me is to see the initiatives in Europe. For example, a few weeks ago, I was at a so-called wind summit in Denmark, where 4 member states said, we together in the North Sea will create a wind park that, when we're done with our goals, is able to supply the energy for 50 million homes in the European Union just by wind, the whole energy consumption, or solar strategy to really move forward in that. So we are at a watershed moment, also not only geopolitically, but also in view of the European Green Deal. There's a second dimension. We have started the so-called renovation wave, because we should not forget that 40% of our CO2 emissions come from buildings, heating and cooling. 40%, that's a lot. But it's also an opportunity to change a lot, to improve a lot. And there comes in, of course, the built environment. All those who are dealing with the built environment have a responsibility now. We invest more than 50 billion euros, but of course, we need not only the investment, we need your expertise, your knowledge, your ideas, your innovation behind it to really make it sustainable. And here I wish you would have been with me this morning in the Academy, the Pontifical Academy, to see the slideshow of Francis Kéré. It was breathtaking to see what he has created as schools, as hospitals, houses, parliaments, museums, all nature-based solutions. So natural material, clay and wood and straw and wool, and you know better than me, with an incredible beauty, because what did he do? He copied nature. And what can be more beautiful than nature itself, and more scientific than nature itself? So you're really a front runner. I'm amazed, Francis.
Thank you so much. Francis, now I'm afraid, after this endorsement, I'm afraid you got to give us a little bit of your vision. What drives you when you think of a building that can be far away in a jungle or in a remote place, or it can become also a big building somewhere in an urban context. Give us your vision.
No, okay. I mean, wow. When I step out from the aircraft this morning, I was almost dying for sleep. And then I came, I met to the audience, and then Ursula. It was like so much energy in the room. And now I'm cooking because it's even more energy in the room, you know. And so the thing is so important to now. It's about being resilient, you know. I mean, so we have big concerns. It has been said. But, I mean, if we want to let a better world for our kids, we have to go another way. I'm sure it's not just the politician and not just the architect. It is everyone here. Everyone in his profession, but everyone as human. And the big problem we're facing, if you start, it's not easy. People may not understand, but it's also important to stand. If you stand, look at me. You know, I'm coming from a little tiny village. And when I have this chance to access education in Germany, I came for, a training, 18 months training. And, honestly, I discovered the potential in this country. It's not just the food, and not just that if you work, you get paid. You had access to education, so I just grabbed it, and I did it. I went back to Burkina, start to work. Now I'm building, and I would recommend everyone to be resilient, have a vision, really work hard for it. Don't really follow the fashion. If you do that, everyone is doing the same. But follow, the way you could just use your skills to serve humanity. I will always say we all deserve quality. And that is important, no matter where we are. And then we all can contribute to create this. We should not wait. And that's why I like that kind of discussion. It allowed us to understand that the leaders are open for that, and then we are all in one boat. It is the mother planet. It's our only home. If we just destroy it by exploiting it by using fossil energy to the end, but where should we go? I know that some people are trying to get a rocket and travel to up, but to the moon. Then I think it is also good that a lot of us get together and really dare to change this planet and make it a better place. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Such an important message. Ursula von der Leyen, obviously you're stressing this idea of European Green Deal, and Europe has the means to reach it, 2030, 2050. There's also another side of this issue, which is the social side of it, being sustainable on a social level when it comes to Europe and when it comes to other countries, like African countries that have a much worse financial or economic situation. So how can you keep the two sides together, the social sustainability and the ability to get to the result?
So whatever we do in the European Green Deal, we look at the principle of Europe. We have in Europe the social market economy, and it's based on the principle that, yes, there is investment and benefits and prosperity, but we have to make sure that everyone takes part in it. No one is left behind. And the same is for the European Green Deal. This transformation is huge, and we know that vulnerable households or smallest businesses have little room to maneuver. So in whatever we do from the legal perspective in the European Green Deal comes along with a social element in it, be it a just transition fund for regions that have to go a longer way forward to reach our goals, or be it the social climate fund we are just debating in Parliament and the Council to compensate with the high energy prices actually created through fossil fuels, the gas prices, that we can compensate vulnerable households and smallest businesses to really go along with us this long way of transformation. But this, in a broader sense, also translates to our neighborhood and our neighbor Africa. The two of us, like in any neighborhood, if we do it together, we're going to be stronger and do it better. And what I said initially, that we are leaving behind the fossil fuels, of course also says we are going into the renewables. And if I look at our neighbors in Africa, you have the resources for renewable energy in abundance. What wind is concerned, what sun is concerned, but also hydropower, the preconditions for hydrogen. So we've understood that together with our neighbors, if we do it right, we develop the renewable energies that will fuel in a positive, climate-friendly way the future of this planet. And therefore, the investment is very much geared towards that. We call the investment Global Gateway, 150 billion euros that are just designed for doing this transformation together, establishing the new form of energy we will have. and working on these new paths together with each other. And here I think another principle is important, which I learned during the pandemic. In the pandemic, it was extremely difficult. And we started to learn, yes, in the short term, perhaps you have to bring vaccines to the continent. But what you really have to make sure is that the technology for producing vaccines is established in Africa. That's what we do right now. Or the same now with the food crisis we are facing. Perhaps in the short term, you have to bring food. But what you have to do in parallel is establish the technologies on the continent, for example, for precision farming, for nanotechnologies, for fertilizers, so completely new technologies for a drier age, so that in Africa itself is the technology to produce what is necessary. And this goes also, of course, for the renewables in the European Green Deal. Only together will we be successful, and we want to rediscover the power of Africa.
Again, this idea of, that's amazing, because this idea of being together, of working together, of including people and countries, it's at the basis of all these initiatives. And Francisca, if you have to look at the future in terms of architecture, what could you spot out as the key elements, and what are the mistakes, the big mistakes that have been done and shouldn't be done again?
Okay. I mean, it's always easy to point out what has been done wrong or to accuse people. But I think here is the general situation. I mean, our big enemy is our inability really to change. So what we do is to pretend if we preserve the situation quo and we make some cosmetic changes, then we are sustainable, or we have good buildings. I mean, this is not the situation. We know that we need to be much more strong. I don't want to say radical, but sort of. If not, there will not be progress. And that's what I see is one of the, the issues that is still now a big problem. In the past, we believe in technology. We were thinking with technology in construction field, with very modern material, new materials, we're going to make it. But it has proven wrong. Let me go back and take asbestos, which has been called like, wow, the modern material that we could use. As I know from Germany, that is the place where I live and see, you have to replace all of these because it made people sick. And it costs a lot of resources. So we have to really be careful and think for the long term, really what is really good for us, for our future, and then go ahead. Those are things that I think should not be done again. But again, in gatherings like this, I think I'm not the one that will say negative and negative. We have to make sure that we say, hey, look at. That is the big hope, If someone like me that just came from a little place really consider that in his DNA, working with nature, trying to see how I can take a material that is available in the place and use it in the best, smart way, can be on stage with President Ursula. It's showing us that is optimism, a lot of optimism, and that is what we have to spread. It's not too late, but it's important to know about it and start to fight for it. That's what I think I see the future.
Thank you. Not too late. Not too late, but let's start to fight for it. Before handing back to Brussels, this last word, this is a platform for change. Do you remember the day that you decided to launch this initiative? Why? You said, okay, this is going to be the new European Bauhaus.
It was 2 years ago in the State of the Union, the speech for the State of the Union. And there we had started already So now I'm 3 years in the mandate. So we had started the European Green Deal actually 100 days after taking office, then the pandemic hit. So there was a lot going on. But as I said initially, I had the idea the soul, the heart is missing. And this was the moment when I realized you need this bottom-up movement from the people, for the people, and this is the new European Bauhaus.
Thank you. It has been a privilege being with you, Francis. Thank you, President von der Leyen. Francis, go ahead. You wanted, Annelies, just a second, because Francis Kéré wanted to add one word. So,
no, just to say thank you for organizing all of these. And I love Italy. I mean, I've been teaching it. I love Italy. And then of course, I love Rome. And I love Milan. We're doing now with Estrilia Vodo and Stefano Boeri, we're doing the Triennale in Milan. It's about unknown unknowns, which is like a way to explore what we ignore. And there's a lot about it, what we ignore. And I'm thinking about the positive thing. Europe has energy. And if you use it, we can inspire the world. But if we keep stacking like this, it won't work.
Great,
it won't work.
Great
Thank
message.
you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you again, President von der Leyen. Annelies, super sorry. This was out of program, but you know, people come to Italy and they say they love Italy. You know, it happens. This is life. So back to you in Brussels, Annelies.
Well, what's not to love in Italy and in Rome, of course, Monica. Thank you so much for this stimulating conversation, but I would like to invite all of you to Brussels too. There's much to love here too. Also, I love the idea of putting the Bauhaus in an international context, a wider international context, reaching out to our neighbors. Now, there's someone here, well, not here, who wanted to be here, but who really appreciates the new European Bauhaus concept and idea, and who wanted to share her enthusiasm for this initiative. It's Roberta METSOLA, the President of the European Parliament, and she sent us this video message.
Dear festival goers and participants, the new European Bauhaus initiative was, like its 20th century predecessor, designed to address the contemporary challenges facing our societies. Created as a part of the EU's Green Deal, it aims to unite the arts with science and technology, a combination with which we can create a more sustainable future. Culture plays such a strong role in our lives. It shapes our values, our characters, and our identities. So as our sustainability ambitions increase further, they must be aligned with our investment in arts and culture. This is why it is so important to celebrate festivals like this one, festivals where people across the continent get to engage with content that calls to our minds, senses and hearts. This festival is just the start of many projects that will link citizens of Europe with the Green Deal. Our principles are committed to keeping you, the people of Europe, at the centre of our agenda. And we hope that you will rediscover your urban landscapes and embrace the environmentally friendly developments. I hope that you benefit from the co-creative spaces that will be available for the next 4 days. Whether you are joining in online or in person, know that everyone is welcome, included and encouraged to work together. Whether you are an engineer, a student, an artist, or anyone who believes in a durable and efficient future, join us in celebrating a new creative movement.
Roberta METSOLA's message. We've been hopping around the European continent and there's much more to see. So I suggest we continue our journey and we move on to Bulgaria, to Kirill Valchev. Kirill, greetings from Brussels.
Hello from Sofia. I'm Kirill Valchev. I'm Director General of Bulgarian News Agency, BTA. Today, BTA puts out more than 10,000 news items and 3,000 photos daily from Bulgaria and abroad. BTA is one of oldest news agencies in the world. Our first news was published in 1898. In 1960, BTA moved here in this new home called the Palace of Journalism. It was designed by architect Evgeny Zidarov and was among the most modern buildings in Sofia. As an official partner of initiative New European Bauhaus, BTA is organizing today a hybrid site event. The discussion is about the transformation of BTA building and the environment in front of BTA within the values of Bauhaus as beautiful, sustainable, and inclusive. We make exhibition of ideas and conceptual projects how students from our partners, Forest University and University of Architecture in Sofia, see transformation, and you can see great ideas behind me among the evergreen plants to make water walls and spheres with holographics of remarkable buildings from countries from where BTA broadcasts news, to make an information wave on the facade to which to hide the air conditioners, and also to turn the roof into a garden with cafeteria. We hope to find more partners, part of Bauhaus initiative, to turn our building into a BTA house. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kirill. And through the wonders of technology, we swiftly move to Latvia, to Zenloka. Hello from Brussels.
Thank you, Vicien. Hello to everyone. My name is Annelies, and I am sending you greetings from Latvia. We are a city which is situated at the Baltic Sea and is also known as the city where the wind is born. The Latvian Association of Local and Regional Government is joining the festival of New European Bauhaus with the side event devoted to global education with the title Make a Wish, Creative Places of Learning and Growing Together for Better Global Future. The event is taking place today, and we have already spent the first part of the day in discussion on different places and ways of learning, storytelling in libraries, creative activities in international summer camps for children and youth, as well as the role of documentary films in promoting cohesion in society. And now, we are fully into the creation of the Wish Tree Garden near the gymnasium in Liepāja, as the wishes is the basis for a beautiful future we are creating together. Thank you and see you.
Bauhaus Ideas in Action in Latvia. Thank you for that. And on to Romania. Hello, Valentin Muresin. Greetings from Brussels.
Bună ziua! I'm actually Cristina Potra Mureșan, saying hello from Romania, Timișoara. We are here at Greenfield, in the midst of our community gardens, and are happy to connect both locally and remotely to other people who care about nature and about our future together. Right now, the youngsters are having a calligraphy workshop, practicing to create messages that are meaningful and also beautiful. While over here, we are in the process of preparing a sustainable picnic with focus on local and seasonal products, and also on reducing waste. Actually, over the next 3 days, there will be all sorts of activities happening, from tending to the beehives to kids' gardening workshop to building an insect hotel, and lots of running and cycling. Tonight, our partners from Liberty Marathon will organize a training run connecting the Western University Community Garden to Greenfield. The two locations that are part of the Healthy Places project, which is a finalist at this year's NEB prizes. Tomorrow, there will be another run that will celebrate 11 years of Alergotura, a local amateur runners club, and also a great community of volunteers. We even have a satellite event happening in Italy, in Sardinia, organized by our friends and partners from Città della Terra Cruda. So as you can see, we are a large and diverse community, and we are all the happier now to feel part of the NEB family. And I would like to conclude by saying that we are looking forward to all the activities happening in Brussels and elsewhere during the NEB Festival.
Thank you so very much. And moving from the east to the west, we go to Sonia García-Fraile in Spain. Greetings from Brussels.
Hola, soy Sonia García-Fraile desde la Sala Cambio de Sentido en Fundación 11 Madrid. At Fundación 11, we work for the inclusion of people with disabilities, and through the Sala Cambio de Sentido exhibition place, we are aligned with the new European Bauhaus goals. It's sustainable because by considering accessibility from the beginning, the cost is minimal. It's inclusive because the space and the contents are fully accessible. The exhibiting artists have disabilities, and we collaborate in the labor inclusion of these artists, facilitating their access to the art market. And because we contribute to the elimination of prejudices about artistic creation by people with disabilities. And it's beautiful because accessibility does not imply ugliness. A well-implemented accessibility is the one that is perceived because it has been successfully integrated. We are in the Sala Cambio de Sentido, a space where disability is the protagonist, either because the exhibiting artists have disabilities or because disability has inspired the work exhibited. The exhibition I'm showing is from the artist Ángel Baltasar, and its name, Éxodos y Romerías, made up of 7 pieces, and it can be visited today and tomorrow morning here at the headquarters of the Fundación 11 in Madrid during the festival, but also until the end of August. We hope to see you all, and you are cordially invited. Thank you so much.
Thank you in Spain. And on to the Czech Republic, where we will be landing. What have you going on, David Horak? And greetings from Brussels, by the way.
Dobrý den, hello everyone. My name is David Severa and I come from a beautiful, wonderful student town of Brno. Just now the weather is not so nice. It's live, so it's raining cats and dogs, but we are in the process of an event called Second Home, Sharing the City. Our event's goal is to connect people who are interested in the way we live, since we spend more than half of our lives in the shared public spaces. For example, schools, public squares, cafes and everything. We try to connect as many people who are interested in these topics together so they can figure out better ways to improve the way we live. We co-organize the event with Faculty of Architecture, so we have a bit of impact on the architecture and urbanism as well. And just now I am being covered by a new European Bauhaus project, sort of. It's a plastic, it's from Plastic Guys, and it's from upcycled plastic, and it's really saving the event since it started really raining. We are having a networking session in the progress, so I'm just going to show you a bit of the people hiding before the rain, and these are our creatives who are discussing the possibilities how to improve public spaces. We believe that European Bauhaus for us is about continuous dialogue, about connecting people from different squares. We are creative hub, so we decided to put our creatives in work and try to involve them on the process of forming a wonderful time. Thank you, and hope the weather is better wherever you are. See you.
It is better here. Thank you to the bad boys in Brno and to all the others, of course. And so this is the end of our sampling of what's going on in different European countries in the context of the Bauhaus Festival. But let's get back to Rome for one last time. Monica, it was a pleasure to share the stage with you, an honor too in my case, and to hear you talk with your guests. I hope you enjoyed our tour d'Europe, our vision of Europe.
Annelies, it has been amazing. We were all here clapping and laughing sometimes, and you gave us an incredible energy. So I think this is the basic message. Thank you on behalf of everyone here in MAXXI, again, President von der Leyen, Francis Kéré, Giovanna Melandri, and everybody in the room. And thanks for what you're doing in these incredible days of the festival. And good luck for that. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. And thank you to your guests and to your hosting the event in Rome, by Rome, for now. So, ladies and gentlemen, online, we are leaving you now for approximately a quarter of an hour, and then we will be back with more, so don't go off too far. See you soon. See you back here at the Gare Maritime in 15 minutes.